There you go.
Hi everyone.
Hi, guys. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Brewhouse Lairs Spiritual Sauce Podcast with me, Mambo Royalty, Brittany, and Kiera. We broadcast live every Tuesday. All right. On this podcast, we discuss various topics on all things spiritual. If you've been following us, you know that tonight we are discussing what tribe?
What makes voodoo dangerous?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hey, stop barking at people.
Calm down. Calm down.
Right.
Cause he on one. They gonna be like, this the same little dog from the reading that you just did not too long ago? Yes, that is him. He just feel like messing with people today. Why? I don't know.
Like, look,
He like, this is what it is and this is what it ain't.
right.
Not playing
Nina,
people today.
why are you trying to bite her? What she do to you?
Watch my surroundings.
He like, I little. So
You know, I can just pick you up.
So y'all probably gonna hear him in the background because he is really doing the thing right now. All right, so let me post this so I can let everybody know we're live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. You guys are free to comment in the comment section, okay? And I will um answer your questions. All right, I am gonna type in there in just a second for those of you who are looking for readings. So I am gonna post that in a second, but I'm posting real quick on YouTube, so you guys can go first.
In my opinion, in my experience, um, I think what makes voodoo dangerous is ego of people
I agree.
working or trying to whatever the situation is,
Mhm.
and people that think they know everything,
Mhm.
even people that say they have 16 years of experience,
Mhm.
but
So when she say that, I know exactly who she talking about. That's why it's so funny. Hi, Starburst.
um, even when people say they have this much experience in this or experience in that, and but things are not working out for them, so egos get in the way of what people could have, and just fuck up shit all around.
Right.
Around them.
Yeah.
Hi, Chanel. How is your day? Mine is good. I just got done eating and posting you guys a reading, so I'm doing really, really good. How are you guys' days doing today? How are you guys doing today?
Guys.
You're not gonna tell nobody how your day was?
Oh yeah, my day was good. I've been cleaning and cleansing all day, and it
Mhm.
feels great.
Yeah, see, I did another nature walk, and I've been loving it. So I've been just trying to enjoy the weather and
So I've been doing
spend some time.
I've been doing new moon work. So I'm kind of
Uh-huh.
coming out of that energy, and I've been nesting. Me and hubby have been nesting like literally every day since for like the past few weeks. Which is why I've been encouraging everybody to book their readings. Because I won't be doing readings for like personal readings. I won't be doing them for like a month. It might be longer, but far as like me coming on the podcast, or far as me giving you guys readings on YouTube, I'll still be doing that. So yeah. I think you made a really good point when you said that you feel like what makes voodoo dangerous is the ego. I think the ego does have a lot to do with it. Not having patience, having pride, being in the wrong energy, trying to work magic, when you're upset, trying to, be something or portray something that you're not. I feel like that's what makes it dangerous as well, you know.
or
Um,
even or even like wanting power too. Like
right,
I think if your life is chaotic, people, especially when they be like, "Oh, I want to try this, I want to try that," and if their life chaotic, they may try to do things to kind of feel more superior than their actual situation. You get what I'm saying?
right,
Like,
right. You definitely have to watch out for people who are on a power trip, because
Right.
yes,
I've come into contact with those type of people. Like, I met people who were originally readers, and then all of a sudden they're a mambo now, or they're a priest now, or they call themselves a third degree root worker, which has never actually been heard of. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of
hmm
people who are really trying to find out about their gifts, or voodoo, or any other ATR type practice, or any cultural practice for that matter, um,
Right.
it just really messes them up, and they end up becoming victim to someone else's ignorance. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
I feel like that's a bad thing, you know. I feel like that's a bad thing, and it's very unfortunate because a lot of people don't get to receive what they actually need. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who are coming into these practices, into these religions, they're looking for something, you know. I've even had
hmm
friends who've gone to certain churches and they haven't received what they needed to receive. And then, they kept going around and looking, and then ultimately they found their church home, So I feel like with no matter what part you are in spirituality, you just have to use your discernment, and you have to be careful so you're not taken advantage of.
Right.
hmm
So yeah.
That's
What
true.
else do you guys have to say?
As far and then too, I think it's to some it may seem like a trend,
Mhm.
and them are the ones who needs to be watched just as the people who want the power,
Mhm.
because they're coming in with this, I won't say Google mentality, but like
Right.
this word of mouth mentality, not
Right.
just, oh, let me go ahead and actually do the real research. But oh, my friend knows somebody who does this, so let me go ahead and see if not
Right.
it's
Right.
not really a true genuine connection. It's more like, oh, this is cool right now. Let me go ahead and see what it'll do for me. I think
Right.
that can be
Right.
Mhm.
I
10
feel that.
times more as dangerous. Yeah, because
Right.
it's like, oh, I don't know anything, but I want to see if this works. And if it works, then I'm going to just, go ahead and get into it. And I think
Right.
that's just as dangerous because I'll say like love spells. I think love spells, and to me, I think those the top spells that people go for. That
Mhm.
and the money and the like,
You know what throws
I,
me off? What throws me
uh-huh,
off is I've watched people want to do love and money, but not want to
uh-huh.
do the hex breaking, the protection. Because I'll
Okay,
if you
and
work
that's
with me,
what.
that's the first thing I'm gonna suggest. The first thing I'm gonna
Right.
suggest is protection, because you need to protect
Uh-huh.
yourself. I even make protection
Yeah.
kits, you know.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
depending on what package you get with me, the protection kit comes with the package. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
Uh huh.
like I would rather you get protection first, then get the hex breaking, and the road opener, the blockbuster, because all those things go together. Some people will
Right,
be like,
right.
well, let me get the road opener and I'll wait on the blockbuster. The blockbuster has to happen
And
before
that's the one
you
I'm
get the road
missing.
open.
Right.
You get what I'm
Right.
saying? And you
Right.
can't do any one of those if you have hexes, jinxes,
Mhm.
curses, crossings, whatever the case be. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
Remind me to add that to my order. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that one.
Which one?
And
Blockbuster.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
and then I think what's more and then them not knowing, and then also with the trending thing, I think it's like um that's how more people who really don't belong kind of get into it. I don't want to say
Yep.
don't belong because everybody belongs somewhere.
Girl, that say don't
More so
belong.
like
Say the truth. Let your spirit speak. Let your spirit speak.
it's like because it's like I know you have a home somewhere, but it's like and then you choose a side. Everybody has free will, but it's just like I don't know. I just feel like because on my end, I feel very protective of spirituality. Like
Mhm.
I feel like, no, I don't trust you with it. Like I don't trust having a conversation with you about it because your
Right.
opinions. You know, like
Mhm.
I can have a conversation with a person and know if that's how far my conversation with you can go. If I can talk
Right.
to
Exactly.
you about spirituality, then okay, I feel safe with you. But if I see just a little bit in your conversation that says that you're a little bit judgmental or that you just not accepting of everything or you just
Mhm.
one sided, I would
Mm-hmm.
not
Not
involve
going there
myself
with
in
you.
that. Yes, because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm talking to a wall. Like it'll
Mm-hmm.
Right.
be like I want you to treat me like a therapist. I'm here to listen. I'm not going to sit and try to give you the direction in which I think you should go. I want you to come up and form your own opinion, but I don't want you to, to be like, nah, what you do, I don't think that's like, I think that's deemed as demonic or something that's not
Right,
good
right.
or of light. And it's like, well, how can you say that when you are doing some similar things as me? It's just in another way. You get what I'm saying? So
Right,
Right.
it's like
right.
I feel that.
people, and then it's like you don't even have to get down on your hands and knees and burn 10,000 candles. Your words alone, I just think
Mm-hmm.
your words hold so much weight. And it's like
Right.
if that's all you talk about, that's all you do, and then you involve yourself with outside people who thinks the same way, it can turn so bad in just a matter of seconds. And so I think that's why it can become dangerous. And then
Mhm.
I wanted to ask you because I did know about one story.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I seen it on YouTube. Have you came across the girl who do the she do like the Black Cauldron? Like she do like these stories and
Yeah,
she talk about it.
I actually follow her. Um
Uh huh.
I have listened like to some of her stories.
Uh huh.
But I follow I listen more to like the real Kaya, okay?
Uh huh. You're
Um
right. Yeah, I didn't
because
think I said it yet.
yeah, cuz like the real Kaya, I've been rocking with her since she first landed pretty much on social media. Like
Uh
Mm-hmm.
back
huh.
like when she was just like really doing her music. She is starting, back with her music though. I
Okay.
also rock with Rebecca's Journey.
Mhm.
I really take hold to Rebecca's Journey because Rebecca is Haitian, like people in my family. So a lot of
Mhm.
her stories, they definitely resonate with me because we have the same background pretty much, you know.
Right. Right. Right.
But in seeing that, I'm just going to say that there are some people that I don't watch,
Yeah.
even though that they may be like trending and have tons of followers, subscribers, whatever the case be, is because of the things
Mhm.
that I see them do. You get what I'm saying? If you are, to me, I'm not saying that anyone can't grow. There's room for everybody to grow. Okay? But once you begin to follow some of these people, once you begin to subscribe to some of these people, you'll begin to start to see the things that they offer. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I don't do, so you'll never hear me talk about on my channel or in person or anything like that, is I don't do the whole trip thing. You get what I'm saying? A lot of these people end up doing trips. A lot of these people end up, speaking on certain subjects that they shouldn't be spoken on. And um they end up stealing from you or whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, it's a lot of toxicity, a lot of things that I don't agree with. So it's like, hey, do your thing, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of like stay away from that. You get what I'm saying?
No,
The reason why I don't do the trips is because I feel like, why invite those people around your energy? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm big on energy.
Knowing who you are.
Right. Yeah. Like, even right now, people who are watching are going to be like, well, your live is not like everyone else's live because you're not on here showing your face. I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying and not pay attention to my face, because the comments are going to fill up with, oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're carrying your pregnancy so well. These are things that I already know. I'm here to drop you knowledge. I'm not here to, have you try to stare in my soul and tell me things that I already know. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to basically educate and move on. And then my channel is not like everybody else's. You get what I'm saying? And yes, I am pregnant, very pregnant, 8 months pregnant to be exact. And I don't want anybody staring in my baby's energy. You know?
That's true.
So it's like, that's why I say everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's different. All of the ladies that were named here, I think they're really good for spirituality, but everyone is gonna have their opinion about them. Okay? Everyone is going to see them in their own eye. And that's what I was saying when I was talking about, when you were talking about the trending aspect of spirituality, because that's the part that makes me upset, because my ancestors' tradition is not a trend.
Right. Right.
And when people go into that, so I respect people who like spirituality, love spirituality, and take the years to learn spirituality. The people I don't respect is the people who rush into it, go buy a few books, go buy their own head dressings and things of that, and in some sort of way initiate themselves through some new moon or full moon ritual, and then lead the people astray. Because one thing you guys did not talk about yet was the people who do it for money.
Right. Yeah.
What makes voodoo rituals dangerous? What makes voodoo rituals dangerous is the people doing the rituals. Because have those people been called by the law to do those rituals? Are those people ordained to do those rituals? So just because someone advertises that they do rituals or that they can do rituals, it doesn't necessarily make it safe. You see what I'm saying?
Hence why the world is going the way that it is.
Right. Because there are instances where we have even talked about here on the podcast where you have Dana Jackson who died. Dana Jackson literally died during a ritual. And if you don't understand how serious it is, I suggest you go look up Dana Jackson, because I'm not sure, but I think her family still hasn't got possession of her body yet. You know what I'm saying? And this happened a while. This happened months and months ago. So
Yeah.
imagine the condition of her body.
Mm.
All because she wanted to go and get initiated. Now, is Dana wrong for wanting to go get initiated? No. She just ended up trusting the wrong people, you know? And that's why spiritual communities, that episode had to come up before this one so people would know, hey, let me go and do my research. Let me go and figure some things out because I'm not sure what's really happening here. You get what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
So you have to, it's really just about knowing, and taking the time to understand that you're not right about everything,
Yes.
like you're not right about everything, and that some of the people that you think are your friends, some of the people that you think you can trust, some of the people that come across as being very legit are not always legit,
Right.
you know?
Exactly.
And if you don't pay attention, you know, you end up finding out that these people are just not who they say they are. I'm trying to fix this map because it's crazy when I said that this map fell.
Which is crazy because today a lot of people have been talking about the movie Sinners, right? And we talked about that
Mhm.
the last podcast. And everybody's like, well, why is everybody worried about a movie full of vampires? And I'm like, see, that's the problem. Because
Mhm.
y'all thinking inside the box. You're not thinking about, well, these are not actual fangs, baby. These are people who just suck the energy out of you that you don't need to have around. It's like it's much deeper
Exactly.
than that.
Exactly.
And it's like you can't try to be, oh well, I want to be about this, I want to learn this, and you at least don't know that.
Like
Like
me and you were
you
talking
have to,
earlier about the
yeah.
sinners being the seven deadly sins.
Yes, yes,
Because this was
yes.
my thing. Okay, this was my thing. Let's go down the list. All right, you got
Mm-hmm.
Smoke and Stack. Smoke and
Yep.
Stack were brothers, twin brothers, and I almost said everybody in the hood. Every everybody everybody in, Mississippi, they knew. I don't put them in the hood. That's crazy. Everybody knew who Smoke and Stack was, and they knew them because no one really said why Smoke had the name Smoke, but I'm sure it was because he was always smoking something,
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily a cigarette, but a person.
Yep.
Because keep in mind, Stack let it. Nino, what are you doing? Stack let it be known that I almost said that Nino. Stack let it be known that Smoke killed their father. Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
their father was always beating on Stack, so they got tired of it. Smoke got
Mm-hmm.
tired of it and smoked them, right? So then you have them going to Chicago, and they go to Chicago. They're bringing, you know who's in Chicago around that time. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was thinking about, they're in Chicago, they must be with Al Capone. Now I need you to go back and look at the time of the movie, because um the movie took place back in the 1800s.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay? Now, if you go and you go search on Google right now, Al Capone was born January 17th, 1899, and he died January 25th, 1947. Nino, what is you doing? This dog is in here doing the most. He running around the room and he done ran his face smooth into the chair.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
yeah, he trying to get everybody to play with him. So, in my opinion, could he have been talking about Al Capone? No, because Al Capone had not even been born yet
Right.
at the time that this took
Right.
place. So there may have been another mobster or gangster or however you want to say that, um,
Oh, person.
that he was working with, but it wasn't Al Capone. You see what I'm saying? Now, going to Mary. Mary was a married woman. Now, Mary said that she didn't want none of that. She said that she wanted Stack. She was in love with Stack. She said, I never asked for that. This is what I wanted. But you can say that she was wrong. You can say that she was right. But according to the majority, right, she was a married woman. Okay. Now you have Pearl. Pearl was married, but Pearl just had to see what was up with Sammy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why did she have to do that? Because she felt however she felt. Maybe that's just the type of woman that she was. Her husband was always working. She was at home lonely. So she felt like, hey, she finna go out and see what's out here. She wasn't thinking about the fact that if her husband wasn't there, he was actually working and providing for her.
Right.
She was thinking about something else. So that's four people, correct? So
Yep.
now we're on sin number 5. All right. We have the drunk. Okay, that could play the harmonica.
Yep.
All right. So what happened with him? He even spoke about on the road that he made so much money. Okay, that he could have literally did anything he wanted to do. But what did he do with the money? He drunk it up. Now take him to drink some water. He breathing so hard. His little tongue, huh? His little tongue about to hit the floor. um, it is. So he drunk up all his money. Okay. Even when they would get mad at him, what would they say? You old drunk, you know? So,
He said, I ain't getting nothing to wash, you know?
but that man sacrificed himself for them. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then it's like, boom, he makes number 5. So now let's go to number 6. Number 6 would be Annie, right? Number 6 would be Annie because people would say that witchcraft is a sin. You get what I'm saying? So in the eyes of others, she would be considered a sinner. Now, to the eyes of the hoodoos, to the eyes of the majority of the people in Mississippi, she was actually a healer. So she was a good person depending on who you ask. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Type of situation. The Asian couple, they never told us what they did. So this is why I can't really name one of them as being one of the sinners, right? So now the last person that we have, because Annie makes 6, right? The last person we have is who? Sammy.
Yep.
So Sammy, his father literally tells him, what you need to go down there for? To be around all them people drinking and dancing and sweating all over each other?
Mm.
His father knew what was wrong. See, the
Mm-hmm.
thing about when we were talking about the South last week, the thing about the South is one thing about them old people, whether they in the bayous or whether they in the country part area, they know and they can smell, they can hear, see, and feel when something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Fact.
But the average won't want to listen. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because the temptation and the lust becomes more stronger, you
Mhm.
know, than what you know you actually need to do. You get what I'm saying? So in this position, I want you
Mm-hmm.
guys to think of the Seven of Cups.
Mhm. Mhm.
Sammy
Right.
was in the Seven of Cups position. Go get
Mm-hmm.
go get my tarot cards out the hallway. The ones that I used earlier that are on the board. They got the black. It's like mostly blue and black backing. It's like lines on the back of them. Get those, cause I'm gonna show you guys that. Cause you can break down the movie centers in tarot cards.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know
I could
then.
believe that too.
No, mamita.
That's a good
Black and
connection.
blue stripes at the back, and they're bigger than those too. See, thank you.
No tiendo.
No tiendo.
No tiendo.
Ay ay
Mhm.
ay.
Mhm.
So this is Sammy. I don't know if you guys can see this. You probably can't. But this is Sammy. Turn the light on real quick. You can probably see a little better now. But this is Sammy. Sammy had a decision that Sammy could have made. Okay? But Sammy decided that, why are these cards like this? See, it's like my cards is reading the situation. Sammy decided he wasn't gonna listen to the emperor. The emperor is in reverse. He wasn't gonna listen to his father. His father didn't know what he was talking about. When Sammy took up his stuff and left, okay, when
Mhm.
he took up his
Mm-hmm.
stuff and left, you see it's the Ten of Wands in reverse. That was a bad decision. But you going because you trying to seek this girl. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't even
Mhm.
shuffle these cards. This is how they coming out. You
That's
you
crazy.
wasn't in you wasn't in her you wasn't in hermit mode. You didn't think you were. The lust became stronger. You know what I'm saying? The lust and the desire of music came stronger. What did Smoke tell him? I will kill you. Okay? But he didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Sammy didn't die. Sammy
Right.
didn't die. But he had to live without his happy ever after. You get what I'm saying? He ended
Oh
up
yeah.
he ended up living by himself. You get what I'm saying? He didn't get to live with the
Mm-hmm.
empress. You get what I'm saying? The empress didn't even belong to him. Peep
Mhm.
game.
Mhm.
Who did Sammy run into?
Uh,
Who did Sammy run into? The devil.
right.
Now, if y'all are looking
What
at
did he
this on
do?
YouTube, while we doing this podcast, y'all can see the cards that you know I'm
Mm-hmm.
showing on YouTube. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just crazy how they're coming out.
Mhm.
Now,
Wow.
who was paying attention to
Mm-hmm.
the moon in the movie? Who watched Sinners and was paying to how full the moon was? Cause I
I
know I
haven't
did.
seen it.
I know I did.
So is that why? So is that why when he stepped outside, they was well, when they put the dude outside, they seen them dancing in like a circle or something they was doing
Look what's next.
with the little.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Look what's next.
That's just
Because that
crazy.
dude, the vampire dude, was a king from another land. He said the money is from another time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He said, but it spins just the same. So what
Mhm.
happened to the star? You get what I'm saying? It fell.
Mm.
Smoke and Stack was the stars. They were really doing a good thing. Making money, robbing or whatever they did to get that money, to bring it back to their home. They did what all people need to do.
Right.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? Go and
Right.
make your money wherever you have to make your money in this world. Go back to your home and build up your home. That's what they were trying to do.
Mhm.
But what happened? You feel me? What happened?
Mhm.
What happened to the magician? You get what I'm saying?
Well,
What happened to
Wow.
their numbers? Their strength in numbers, but what happened to their numbers? When they
It
sent
got
those people
compromised by the
outside,
yeah.
that was the worst thing they could have did. Had that been my juke, y'all wouldn't have been going outside.
Yeah.
Y'all wouldn't have been
Yeah.
going outside. Look,
Cause
y-
then
y'all
the
played
people
right
they
into
got
his
doing,
hands.
yeah.
You played right
Especially the
into his
we're gonna
hands.
walk. We're gonna walk slow until you change your mind.
You
I
see what I'm
said,
saying?
whoa.
Yeah, in case you change your mind, I'm like, hold on, wait, what?
What?
We gonna walk slow. But what did the pastor say? What did the pastor tell Sammy? Don't you go down there.
He told
The
you,
devil gonna follow you home.
are you home?
He told
Yep.
you the devil gonna follow you home. Where'd that devil card go? I know it's back some, but there it go. What did the pastor tell you? The devil gonna follow you home.
Mhm.
Okay, so imagine while we're talking about what makes voodoo dangerous, the people you mess with. Now the devil
mhm.
done followed you home. Why are all these things happening in my house? What's going on with my children? What's going on with my husband? Why is he hitting on me? Why is he doing this? Why is my wife doing
Mhm.
this now all of a sudden? Why is my wife doing that all of a sudden? Because these things have followed you home. There were so
Mhm.
many messages in that movie, and it literally went over people's heads. People who want to be the high priestess, but they're not the high priestess. They're just trying to play a role. That role
Mhm.
wasn't given to you. This is why you in the situation you in, and your life just be topsy turvy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You trying to juggle too much. You trying to juggle things that don't belong to you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You trying to play a role that's not meant for you to play. And now look at you.
Yep.
Look at you, worried, stressed out,
Mhm.
waiting for somebody to come save you. But what Temperance said? Temperance said, I ain't coming.
Right.
That's why I said it's crazy. I didn't even shuffle these cards. Look at
Mhm.
this. Baby, you get no justice.
Oh,
Justice denied. Appeal denied.
oh.
You know what I'm saying? Because we gave you a chance. There go the
Mhm.
Seven of Cups. We gave you a chance to make the right decision, but you didn't listen. I spend my time every day doing readings, telling people what they need to know, telling people, hey, look, this you are booking me for a reading. You are literally asking me what is going on in your situation. I tell you what's going on in your situation and you don't want to do nothing about it. That has absolutely nothing to do with me.
Right.
But I told
Right.
you, so you can't say that you don't know now, because you do
Mhm.
know. you know
Mhm.
you have been made aware. you know
Right. Right.
so let me help y'all with the light. You get what I'm saying? You have been made aware of what you need to do now, but
Mhm.
it's you who decides that what you're gonna do and what you're not gonna do. And these are some pretty big cups to fill. These are not just your average cups. You get what I'm saying? That's why I say,
Right.
you know, and look what's in this cup. Like, literally pay attention to what's in this cup, you guys. You have a person in this cup. So some could say that that's Sammy, you know, the gentleman in the silhouette dark figure, and that's the woman in the cup that he's chasing. You know, something's being hidden in the cup here because it's something draped over the cup. And then you see the snake. You see the snake. You know what I'm saying? You see the money, the glitz, the glamour, and the things that he want, but you also see the dragon at the end. So whatever you're trying to run away from, it's still going to come back, and it's gonna get you. You get what I'm saying? And you're not gonna succeed and build and be able to be successful as you think that you are. That's what these cards are basically saying. You know what I'm saying? Look at all you had to fight. He had the fight of his life on his hands. You know what I'm saying? He truly had the fight of his life. You turn it off and see how it looks with just this light on. Cause I like my LED night lights. Yeah, I like my LED lights at night. I mean, y'all won't be able to see it because of the way that I have the lighting over here, but if I turn the light off, then you'll be able to see it. But some of us, some of you, are in the biggest fight of your life because of the decisions you make. You get what I'm saying? And going to do a voodoo ritual, going to be in a spiritual community, it's not always going to just make things easier for you. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, when people say that they want to get into it and they want to do the money. That's what you said, Kier. People get in it and then they wanna go for it for money. But the thing is, if you don't fight the things already beforehand that you need to fight, you're just stacking things up on top of each other. So basically, if you're not getting protection, if you're not getting hex breaking, if you're not getting your blockbusters, road openers, money jinx removers, love jinx removers, you're defeating the purpose. You get what I'm saying? Because it's more that goes to that than you know. But these people are just out here deceiving you. You get what I'm saying? These people are just out here deceiving you and telling
too,
you,
right?
yeah, go ahead.
Even on top of the rituals, though,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, shouldn't you also, to like not amplify or like to make
Girl.
these rituals stick, wouldn't you want to work on yourself? Like, because it's like you can't sit up here and want all this work done and you still have the same mindset and just like you're not healed even an inch. So it's like, how do you think that it's going to work long term? You know, not saying that it won't work,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to put type of work into it, like at least on yourself,
Right.
to just so that it can work the way that it should, versus working against you. Because I think it'll work against you if you just like you're sure you just
What we call it,
like
we call it working yourself. We call it working yourself. And that's why we have the Page of Wands in reverse, and we have the Three of Swords in reverse, because people end up working themselves. You see what I'm saying? So this is like I was saying, you have to know what you're doing, because you're stepping into something, an unknown field, something that you don't know anything about. And ultimately, what can also make voodoo rituals dangerous is the person trying to initiate it. You get what I'm saying? Because they don't know what they're doing. And what does it ultimately cause? There
destruction.
there go the
Like
death
the
card.
chaos.
There go the death card. I can't make this up. I'm literally pulling out of this tarot deck while y'all are talking. You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So
Yeah.
it takes someone to take the time to do the research, um to just relax. You know what I'm saying? To relax and not try to push it in order to be successful. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right. Right.
saying? Because there's an old saying, the same thing that'll make you laugh will make you cry.
Will make you cry.
Mhm.
Yes, I
Yep.
am.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Eight of Swords. The same thing that'll make you laugh will make you cry. And the next thing you know,
Mhm.
now you're all bound up, wound up, sacrificed, okay, in someone's ritual. Somebody's gonna come across this live who is thinking about initiation. Somebody's gonna come across this live who needs to know what to do, what not to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's going to be a
Yes.
breath of fresh air for them because they're going to be like, you know what? Thank y'all for that. You know what I'm saying? But then there are going to be some people who come across this live who are not going to pay attention at all. I can't make
Mhm.
this up. The full and reverse.
Mhm.
Some people are going to see it and be like, yeah, whatever. I tuned into the
Mhm.
live for about 1 minute and I decided not to listen. And this is what's going to happen. See, all
Mhm.
things could be avoided if you pay attention, or else you can turn around and you can end up in the hang position, you know,
Mhm.
and that tower can fall. You get what I'm saying? That tower can fall. I cannot make this up, y'all. you
This
going
is
you
crazy.
you going to run into all sorts of kind of conflicts, okay? And let's just stay here on conflicts for a minute because a lot of people who get into voodoo, they end up getting sick, okay? A lot of them end up passing away.
Mhm.
And this is just me telling you the truth, okay? No one that I've worked with, let me say that, no one that I've worked with has that happened to. Because everyone
Right.
that I've worked with have always done things by the book, okay?
Mhm. Right.
But there are people who I've come across who, I mean, like young girls in their 20s going to get initiated, and they were not supposed to get initiated. That was not their title in the practice. And their mom passed. You know what I'm saying? And the girl is like telling me this was like back in like 2019. This girl just reached out to me on my business page and was telling me, she was like, I think, I got my mom killed. And I was like, why you say that?
Mhm.
And she was like, well, I got into witchcraft. I started doing all these rituals, and my mom told me, I should have left it alone or found the proper person to teach me, and that's what happened. And I'm like, it just brings me to the realization that a lot of people get in this, and they're not even thinking about their families and how it's gonna affect them.
Right. Right. Right.
They're more focused on them getting what they want
What
out
they
of
want.
that. Ten of
Mhm.
Pentacles.
Yeah.
This is all anybody can see when they think about it. So this goes back to what Kiara was saying about the money. Yes, a lot of people get in it because of the money. Kiara was used by a person. She told y'all this. She's been telling y'all this even before um spiritual communities, cuz she couldn't hold it in.
Right.
Kiara was telling y'all that she was used by people. Did people try to use me? Yes, they tried, but I didn't allow them. You know, and they all
Mhm.
bullied. When I say they bullied me, like I do not lie to you. They all bullied the shit out of me. Like they were trying to take tag team me, jump me in my dreams. They were like talking down on my business, trying to get people not to mess with my business. My business had already been in business, you know what I'm saying, for a long time at that point. I've been in business almost 18 years. You know, I'm just really like new to YouTube and social media because I was one of the backwater bayou people. You know what I'm saying? And like I tell anybody, the real spiritualists, the real people who that do magic, they're not on social media every day.
This is why it took me 28 years to find you. Oh, you know my nerves. Took me so long.
Tell me about it.
But the whole thing is like the whole thing is that this is why you need platforms like YouTube, because you end up meeting people who give you that education. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You end up meeting people who give you that education and can help you learn ultimately what you need to
Yeah.
learn. You know what I'm saying? Because without the proper guidance, it's not gonna work. So you can have on your regala, you can have on all your initiatory clothes, you can be ready to initiate to any spirit, but do you even know what that even means? You know,
Or if you in the right group, like how do you know that's who you're supposed to be communicating with anyway?
because that's the thing, Kiara. Wherever you go, they're always gonna tell you you're in the right place. But this is
Yeah.
why I ask people, what do you feel?
Right.
Not too many people are gonna ask you about what do you feel, because they're not going to want you to feel anything else other than like you should work with them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why do they feel like that? Because they feel like that's their throne. They feel like they sitting pretty, like they're sitting high. They're in that King of Swords energy. But we all know that there is one true divine king, and these people who claim to be this king are not this king. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These people
They
low
belong with
main.
their egos.
Yeah, these people are low main. They low main. And some people, you can say that they do it. Yeah, they do it for the money, but not everybody gives them that money. A lot of people are waking up. They're highly intuitive, and they're not even doing it. They're not even working with them. They're turning them away and saying, I'm keeping my money. But then you have the people who are blind. You get what I'm saying? And that's the thing. You have to watch the people who will literally go and play on the blind. That's why I tell everybody, like, look, y'all, I could be sitting on the beach right now. I could be sitting somewhere with my feet up. I am here on YouTube doing things for free. You see what I'm saying? Because I like to educate. I like to educate. I'm not here to, you know what I'm saying, to do anything else. I want you guys to catch on to that very quickly. Some of you will catch on very quickly, but then some of you won't, you know. So I'm gonna put these cards up. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, dang, I'm about to drop the light. Um, but see, this how I look without the light. Hold on. See, I like when it look like that. Y'all can't see the galaxy stars, but I can. But
Must be nice.
yeah, it is. No, cause like, so all of us have these galaxy lights. Go on Amazon, y'all. If y'all want the little LED lights and stuff like that, go on Amazon. Like everything I order, like even with my mic, it's gonna have some type of lighting on it because I like for you guys to see, you know, the lighting.
Yeah,
But
it's therapeutics too.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys something too. If they're on the East Coast, leave them alone. You know, if they're on the East Coast, leave them alone. A lot of the people who are taking a lot of money from a lot of people are on the East Coast. Um,
Mm-hmm.
even in Haiti, people are like, "Well, I went to Haiti and I got initiated." Okay, but your grandmother died. Your father got sick. You both parents got sick. So this is why you'll hear a lot of Christians say, leave that evil stuff alone. You get what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of, like, I have a whole bunch of Christian friends and even pastors, evangelists, all of that. And they will tell you the reason why they say that is because a lot of the people who are, doing the voodoo and stuff, they are actually bad people. You get what I'm saying? So that's why sometimes a Christian will tell you, leave that evil stuff alone. But a lot of other people will believe like, oh, Christians are negative or Christians are this. No, a lot of Christians are using their discernment and they know that that person that you're working with, that you're trying to do voodoo with, that you're trying to learn from or whatever it is, that that person is actually evil. So it's not really that they're trying to hurt you, but it's more so a lot of people just not having an open mind. You get what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, I wouldn't have a lot of Christian friends if they thought, that I was evil or something. You get what I'm saying? But like I tell people, my husband wouldn't even be with me if I was evil. You know, I'm when I'm talking to y'all, when I'm doing videos for you guys, when I'm channeling for y'all, I'm a stay at home mom. You know, my kids are always around. There's not one dark object in my house. Do you get what I'm saying? Do I know how to use it? Yes, of course I know how to use it because I would have to defend myself. But in most cases, y'all, the divine protects me so much. My spiritual team protects me so much that, like, there are people right now, with this new moon that was coming up, um the divine told me, Papa Legba, my ancestors, my entire spiritual team, we had a whole meeting basically, and they told me that there were people doing work on me that I was right about because I knew they were doing work on me, right? And
Right.
these are people I helped, okay? These are people I helped, removed cancer from, helped get their husbands back, and they're out here doing voodoo on me because I stopped talking to them. That doesn't add up. You get what I'm saying? So what makes voodoo dangerous is the people who do it, the intention behind it. Because if I never did anything to these people, um why would they do that? You get what I'm saying? What would be your logical reason for doing that or trying to do that? But the thing about it is, the spiritual team done already told me, yeah, they did it. They done paid people to help them and everything, but it didn't work. So my point is, when you are covered, okay, when you are divinely protected, it doesn't really matter what the enemy throws at you. Do you
Right.
have to do hex breakers, money jinx removers, things like that to remove the energy? Yes, because it's not your energy. And you would want to remove that energy from you and send it back to the people who sent it to you.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that you're a bad person for doing it. You know, what makes voodoo rituals dangerous? The people who want to go and take somebody's husband because they're jealous of this person having the husband and they want him.
Right.
But what ends up happening? That's a love spell, technically. So that's not even going to work in their favor.
Right. Right.
It's not even going to work. I got you, Kiera. Um, it's not even going to work in their favor. But does it happen to some people? Yeah, it happens to some people. And it does affect some people, you know. Um, but mainly because they're not protected, you know. But
Right.
I don't think a lot of people understand that being protected is more than just saying that I'm protected. Being protected is actually being protected um, by the Most High Divine Creator or your spiritual team, your ancestors.
Right.
But
Right.
you would have to have a relationship with them um versus just saying it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people just say it but don't have no relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. This is not okay.
Which is why I pulled out the cards, you know, because there are a lot of people who have questions, but they're also even afraid to ask them. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to seem crazy, or they don't want to seem or feel like they're wasting somebody's time. You know what I'm saying? But like I tell everybody, you know, anytime somebody reaches out to me, I never feel like they're wasting my time. I never feel like somebody's asking a dumb question. I think the dumbest questions are the one you don't ask.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That makes sense.
I don't think it's nothing wrong with educating yourself. You know what I'm saying? But if if you don't know what a voodoo ritual is or how to work a voodoo ritual, I would say just leave it alone,
Right.
because buying a book off Amazon, Chegg, or any other, you know, from any other source, and you don't know what you're doing, um that in that book you have to keep an open mind that that's somebody else's thoughts,
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know. And you can try those rituals, and 9 times out of 10 they'll never work. Now, if you want to know something that works, all you guys who come across this live, get the receipts out of your pocket. Okay, you know how you go to the store, you know, they give you a receipt, you put your a man would normally put his receipt in his pocket or in a bag with the stuff that he buys. A woman would put the receipt in her purse. Okay. And bills, keep bills out of your purse, keep bills away from your bed, because receipts and bills attract debt.
Mm. Okay.
You know, that's teaching you hoodoo methods without you even doing magic. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times it's because of the things that you carry on you as to why you have that. Um I don't know if you guys know this, but when you go to a she said, "Oh, say that again." Okay, so when you if you are a woman and you're watching this, all your receipts, all your bills, or any type of debt that you owe, whether it be something is in collections, whatever it is, take it out of your purse because it attracts debt. If you are a man who keeps receipts in your pocket, in the bag with the things that you buy, take it out. I actually said this back in 2020 in a Facebook post. I posted that on Facebook, and I told everybody, and that post got like 100 and something likes. Everybody was like, what is she talking about? That's crazy. That's wow. Another thing, if you are facing an eviction, okay, let's just say somebody's trying to put you out, take the eviction notice, put it in a Ziploc bag, okay, or put it, you know how you have like the little Tupperware bowls. Put it in a Tupperware bowl, fill it up with water, but not a glass bowl, okay? Pull it up with water, put it in the freezer, and freeze the situation. While you're freezing it, give yourself, keep paying your rent, you know, to give yourself more time. You get what I'm saying? Do that to give yourself. I've heard if your hand's itching, rub your pocketbook. Yeah, when my hands are itching, I rub like a family member's hand to share the money. I rub my purses, my pockets, you know, checkbook, things like that. You get what I'm saying? If let's see which another one I can tell y'all. So I hope y'all are writing this down.
Yep.
Which does which hand matter? Not really. Some say that if it's your right hand, the money's coming, but not as fast. But then if it's your left hand, it'll be like there like tomorrow type of thing. And it's crazy you talking about the hand, because my hands are itching right now. But it's like, for me, I'm just ready to hold my baby, you know.
I know.
I'm trying to think of which other ones I could tell you guys. Okay, so you can get a jar, and you can write down your manifestations, write whatever it is that you want. Y'all do have to excuse my little Frenchie, because he is like on one back here. You take a jar, you fill it up with cinnamon. Okay, so this is going to be powdered cinnamon. Okay, this is going to be whole cinnamon, so the actual cinnamon stick. All right. You take some money, whatever size money that you want. So it could be $1, $5, 20, 50, 100, whatever it is. You wrap the money around the cinnamon. Okay. You place it in a jar. You add nutmeg. Okay. And other herbs that are for money. I'm gonna leave that to y'all to do your homework and look it up. But you can ask me here in the chat, and I will tell you if you can use that or not. She said, yes, my grandmother always said that. Yeah. And you can, hi, good morning where you are.
Good morning.
Thank you guys for joining. You can add that. Okay. And, you can place the jar on the windowsill, and just like every day, just shake the jar up, like just like this. Just shake it up every day. When you shake your jar up like that, the time where we are, it's actually, let me see. Dang, why my phone don't want to come on? It's 8:55 here. Stop laughing, Brittany. Stop laughing.
Oh, Kiwi. I didn't do it, bro.
You didn't.
I
Hold on, y'all. So, since you giving up tips, what can I do with my moon water? Oh, it's 7:25 a.m. Wow, thank you for joining us. It's early there. Thank you for joining us.
Top of the day.
Um, so what can you do with moon water? First of all, I want you guys to understand something about moon water. Okay? Before you collect the moon water, make sure that when you go outside, always go outside before it rains. So you can see if you smell the rainwater smell. Okay, that's the first tip. If it doesn't, you remember how, like, when we were all kids, how we would be like, "Oh, I can smell it's finna rain." Nowadays, you don't even smell it. You know, nowadays you don't even smell it. So if you don't smell it, don't use it.
Right.
Don't collect that water. Now, some of the most powerful water that you will want to collect is going to be storm water. So I'm not talking about the little drizzly rain. I'm talking about the type of thunder and lightning that make you jump up out like my dad used to say, jump up out your bed and check your underwear. That type of that type of rain. Yeah, my dad who raised me was in the army, so he had all these little funny little sayings. Um yeah, like if the water, if it smells stinky or musty outside, don't collect that water, cuz I'm going to tell you why. When you collect water like that, it actually hurts your situation. It doesn't help. Okay? Speaking of moon water, I still have moon water from 2016 because I store and label all my water. Um, with moon water, you can take it out on the new moon. You can take it out on a full moon. You can cleanse your water with Palo Santo. Hey, boy, stop it.
He's going in.
Yeah, you can. So what is moon water? Moon water is water that you collect that's rainwater. And in most cities or states, they won't let you do that. Go get that gate. Go get that gate. Yeah, he's being very bad today. Most of the moon water that you collect is gonna be rainwater. So you don't take water out of the faucet and then sit it under the moon. Moon water is basically storm water that you set under the moon to charge it. That's what makes it moon water. Now, if you can actually happen to catch it raining on a full moon, that is best. And it smells like rain. That is some of the best moon water to collect. What you can do with the water after you cleanse it and everything, some people even boil it. I don't boil mine. I leave it the way the earth intended it, to be. Um, if the water, another thing you can collect is ocean water, river water, lake water, but it has to be like good clear water. It can't be murky. You know what I'm saying? So like when you guys see my videos and you see me traveling and you see like I'm forever showing beaches. And when I'm at these places, I collect the water and I sit it under the moon. So I now have moon water. Do you get what I'm saying? Um with the water, you can take the water once it's been cleansed, once it's set under a few moons. You can take that water and you can begin to use it in cleansing your house. So like when you guys make your mop water or whatever to do, you know how like people blow cinnamon out the door at the beginning of the month? I don't do that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I don't do that. I blew cinnamon out the door one time, and then that same week, my grandma, um, I don't know if you guys watching this know this, but my grandma and my dad, they practice dark magic. My grandma on my mom's side practices dark.
Mhm.
My dad practices dark magic. And what's crazy about my grandma on my mom's side is my grandma and my dad used to date.
That is crazy.
Wait,
That is
wait,
wild.
wait, wait, wait.
Yeah.
That is wild.
So okay.
Don't tell
So
me what
I just lost Kiera. So my mom, my mom, my grandmother knew my dad first because
okay.
she used to talk to my dad's brother. My dad, not my dad, but my uncle, they have a group, like they ride horses, you know,
Mhm.
and that really attracted my my grandma. So
Mhm.
when my grandma saw my dad, she liked my dad too, and she would cheat with my dad. Now,
That's
when
crazy.
my dad finally met her daughter, which is my mom, my
Mhm.
dad was like infatuated with her from the moment that he saw her. Okay.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
mean, me and my mom look just alike. So if you guys go on my shorts and you look at my shorts, you'll see me.
Mhm.
And me and my mom look literally just alike. But I have my daddy
Mhm.
nose.
Mhm.
Yeah, like the nose is like everybody has a nose. But so my mother eventually found out about my dad and my mom because they were
Mhm.
still like going on even afterwards. And my mom, that's what made my mom stop talking to my dad. But yeah, that's
That's
what
crazy.
happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did your dad's brother do? Because what?
They
Why?
don't really yeah, they don't really have a good relationship like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Moon
think
water
crazy.
is for health benefits. You can use it for health benefits. If you're gonna drink it, when I was a kid, I don't know about y'all, I used to just drink like when it would rain, I would
Holy
just drink the
water.
water. Um, but
Mhm.
the thing about that is they chemtrail so much. I would tell you, if you're gonna
Mhm.
ingest the water, I would boil it first. That's the
Mhm.
situation. I
Mhm.
would boil like the water if you're gonna use it. Now, if they don't chemtrail where you live, then you wouldn't have to do that.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
what you could do with the water, you could mix the moon water, like a teaspoon of it or a tablespoon. You can mix it and put it in your tea.
Mhm. Mhm.
I love me
Mhm.
some tea now.
Because I've had
Um,
clients who I've told to do that, who were ill or who had cancer. And I mean,
mhm.
they're perfectly fine. If you know somebody with cancer, um and hello to everyone coming in. If you know somebody with cancer, order some sour sop tea, okay? Um in Haitian it's called creosol. Um but
Mhm. Mhm.
you can order that tea off of Amazon and just drink it as directed. You know what I'm saying? And that'll help too. There are a lot of other
Where
teas
can
that'll
you
help with
purchase this?
cancer, like aloe, lemongrass, um fruits like papaya, all types of fruits really. All fruits
Uh-huh.
are really good to combat cancer,
Mhm.
especially like
Especially strawberries.
tomatoes. Tomatoes
Mhm.
is like is and like with me, I've been eating tomato, like I will eat a tomato by itself, especially like the
Mhm.
little cherry ones. Um
Mhm. Mhm.
But it's like the more vegetables and fruits you put into your diet, the less chance you have like of getting sick.
Yep. Because I see a lot of people now like doing watermelon juice, like
Yep.
juicing the watermelon.
Mhm.
I see that a lot more now. And I was a little skeptical at first, but now I'm like, oh, that looks so good. I just want a
You
bad
want to
gallon.
know a secret? I juice everything.
Really?
Yep,
I want to try because
like even in a
especially for
watermelon,
psoriasis.
I won't even take the seeds out. Like things that are seeded, I never take the seeds out. I put them in the blender and I blend
Okay.
everything up together and boom.
Yep.
Yep. And that's why I said keep in mind I'm 8 months pregnant. I still lift weights. I still work out 3 to 4 times a week. And I'm very very healthy. The only thing is because I'm in my 8th month now, I'm on my feet literally all day because I run the Brujas Lair, Empress Hustle University, and Soft Girl Era TV. Um, because I do that, my feet are swollen by the end of the day.
Mhm. Mhm. Right.
So yeah,
I definitely understand that one.
yeah. But other than that, like I literally, I'm all down for the health. But you guys write down lemongrass, aloe tea. Now I'm gonna tell you now, do not take aloe tea by itself.
Oh shoot! What happened?
It's nasty
What's
and it
okay?
stink.
Oh Lord.
Do not
So okay.
take
So.
do not take boulder tea by itself because it's nasty and it stink. Do not take valerian tea by itself, okay? Because it stink. um when I open, because I'm not gonna close down the shop when I have the baby, but
Mhm.
I am going to be bringing my teas to my website because they're not on my website. Like you
Okay.
literally have to know me personally to get my tea. That's
Mhm.
that's how that's how secluded I am about my tea. Um, but people who know me, they always get them out the apothecary with no problems.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
for those of you who don't know, I do have an apothecary. I call it Royals Apothecary. That's like my fourth business. um,
Mhm.
cause I'm like when we were staying where we were staying in Mexico, I was doing a lot of healing down there. That's why I went down there to do a lot of
Yep.
healing. And the energy of Mexico is just phenomenal. Like I don't know if you
Mhm.
guys have ever looked it up, but there's a lot of spiritual activity um there in Mexico. But there were a lot of people who were sick. Um Me and my family have never had COVID. Um we don't do immunizations. We've never got the vaccine. We
Mhm.
do not discriminate against those who do or who did. I understand everybody being literally terrified for their life and thinking that this
Mhm.
was the only option, but there are a lot of benefits in tea. What made me open it up, because somebody has that question, I can hear your thoughts. What made me open it up was my grandmother who raised me, not my grandmother on my mom's side, so not my mom's mother, but my grandmother who raised me. She was my foster dad's mom. She's the one who taught me how to garden. So when you guys, if you've been following me and you see my herbal baths, like Brittany was saying, I need the blockbuster bath. All my
Mhm.
baths that you guys see, all my oils, I hand make all of those things, but the herbs, they come out of my garden. Okay. Um, I don't really post many videos about my garden just because I'm a very sacred person, right? Um,
Mhm.
but these herbs, I use them to heal people. My mother-in-law was sick one day and nobody had no knowledge of what was wrong with her. And my husband looked at me and was like, "Heal my mom." And I was like, "Yes, sir." So
Mhm.
I grabbed up my teas. I have like this big old duffel for when I do like house calls. And
Mhm.
I grabbed all the things that I needed, blood pressure monitor, things like that, um, my little patient forms. And
Mhm.
I made her this tea.
Mhm.
And when I made her this tea, it literally was every blend tea. Okay.
Mhm.
A 33 blend tea is basically 33 different herbs. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
And she was fine. She literally didn't even have to take her blood pressure medicine for months after taking
Mhm.
this tea.
Mhm.
And I've been telling her, I even told her last night, I was, what her son told her, leave that blood pressure medicine alone and get back on those teas, because when you drink tea like that, it does heal you. Tea is nothing but a herb in a bag.
Right.
You
Right.
see what I'm
Right.
saying? And when you take these teas, you know how like women struggle with getting pregnant. um
Mhm. Mhm.
they were telling me before I got pregnant, because I had my tubes tied originally, and
Mhm.
I knew that me wanting to get pregnant, having miscarriages, was punishment for me getting my tubes tied, because I was meant to be a mother. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that was my fault, but the doctor made it seem as if I was going to die if I had another kid,
Mhm.
you know? Cuz we're
Mhm.
on we're on kid number 8. Okay? So
Mhm. Mhm.
um a lot of people, they're like, well, why do you guys keep having kids? All my kids have divine purposes. And when the divine tells me to stop, that's when I'll stop. I won't stop because of what someone tells me to, right? I'll
Right.
never
Right.
I'll never make that mistake again, because I paid heavily. I had so many miscarriages that I can't even count them to you. All I remember is crying, crawling on the floor, in pain, in agony. Just, it was just bad. You know what I'm saying? Something
Mhm.
I wouldn't wish on anybody. But I started, because they were like telling me to take all this fertility medicine, and it seemed like none of that was working. you
Right.
know and I'm, keep in mind, I'm paying for it. We
Mhm.
paying for the
Mhm.
doctor's visits and the medicine, and the doctor's visits is like high. They're not cheap.
Right. Right.
So we did the reversal, and the first thing I did after the reversal was I took a yoni steam.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, the thing about my yoni steams is you can actually take my yoni steam, and you can actually take some of the herbs out of the bag, and you can boil
Mhm.
them and you can drink them.
I did that one time. I don't
Yeah,
think you
that's
wanted to,
that's
but I did.
yeah, that's how I do my yoni steams. Now, if you have never done a yoni steam before and you do a
Mhm.
yoni steam, um what comes out of you the next two, I'm gonna say 1 to 2 weeks, may have a very bad smell. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
Um and that is because it's cleansing your body out. You get what I'm saying? And getting out all the filth. So if you smell that, what you want to do is you want to steam again. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But you don't want to
Mhm.
use something as to where you're trying to insert it.
No.
You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Um,
Mhm.
cause that'll mess you up. Like my mambo used to tell me, it's better to shower than to take baths every day, because
Yes.
when you take baths every day, when that water goes up inside you, it sits on your germ bag, and it can cause bacteria, you know.
Mhm.
So that's something you want to be kind of mindful of when doing that. That's why I say yoni steaming is like better, than
Yeah.
filling up the tub with herbs and getting in it. Um a lot of women don't know that's why they have problems with fertility, because they're in that water, and it's messing up their pH balance. It's just throwing their whole body off, especially before their cycle comes. You get what I'm saying? Um, for women that suffer with PCOS, it's also really good to not only um, do the steaming, but to take the fertility tea. Okay? When you take the fertility tea will cleanse your womb. You get what I'm saying? It will cleanse your
Mhm.
stomach. So imagine using the yoni steam to cleanse your body, you know, and then using the tea to cleanse your actual insides. You get what I'm saying? Like that's just, it's wonderful. Um I did that. I did my prayers. I began to talk more to the divine, apologize to the divine for the things that I did. For those of you who want to know if I used moon water in these instances, I did. Um, and I ended up pregnant. You know, of course the doctors took, you know, accountability for it, but it was the divine. It was the divine in my spiritual team, um, as to why it happened. So for anybody who suffered with fertility, um, yeah, I would reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't feel like you're bothering me or anything like that. I'll tell you what you need to do, what you need to order, so you can have your baby. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times, like, I need you guys to understand something too. When they came out and they were like, saying that China was telling, about the designer bags, they didn't just come out and talk about the designer. They also talked about the pills. So you know how they charge
Yeah.
us hundreds of dollars for the pills? They only pay cents. They literally pay 10 and 20 cents for those pills that we pay hundreds of dollars for.
Mhm.
Like, this is the thing that I've never understood. People who suffer with high blood pressure, okay? Why is it you take all these pills but you still have high blood pressure?
Mhm. That's why I be. I don't. I can't do. I can't. Mm. I don't even allow doctors. You want it? Like, you want the flu shot? No. You
Yeah, like,
hypertensive? Oh
I
well.
don't I don't get I don't get the only shot that I will get um is like the one for tetanus.
Mhm.
The tetanus shot is the only shot I'll get. Is the tetanus. I do recommend getting that one, because if you step on anything rusty or cut
Right. Right. Yeah.
yourself with metal, something like that, an accident, a knife, especially for those people who have diabetes, you know,
Yeah. That would be
but
definitely vital for them.
I've helped people with diabetes overcome diabetes. You see what I'm saying? And even if you don't want to work with me, order herbal books and and utilize them.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that my family. this is like my dad was raised on the reservation. So like,
Mhm.
thank you.
Mhm.
All of his people, this is what they did. Um when I went on sabbatical, I've had to go on sabbatical like 4 times. But when I've gone on sabbatical, it's because I've gone to go get initiated. And
Mhm.
when I do that, I get in this real mode where I'm just doing nothing but studying, and because I'm about to
Mhm.
take this next step. And
Right.
before I became a curandera, um, with our tribe, I put myself on sabbatical so I could study. And
Mhm.
the thing about becoming a curandera, for those of you who don't know, you have to be able to prove that you've healed people off of your methods.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm,
That's interesting.
So
I know, right?
Mhm.
again, this is me going to Mexico, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
I have an uncle in Mexico who builds compounds and communities. So
Mhm.
what we did, we went down there, and every time somebody got sick, I was right there. And I healed over 1,000 people. It was a
Mhm.
lot of
Mhm.
people. I'm talking about people who were given the diagnosis that basically say bye to your family. You know, this is
Mhm.
Mhm.
it type of
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
healed a lot of people with herbs. So it's possible. You get what I'm saying? It's very possible. And this is the upside to the voodoo rituals. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
This is the upside to the hoodoo and the root work. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? This is the upside of the native traditions and the
Mhm.
shamanistic healing. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So that's why I say
Interesting.
it just depends on the intentions of the person.
Right.
Because
Very true.
I feel like you reach more people when you are when you not only when you're just authentically you, but when
Right.
you're doing something that actually helps people rather than something
Helps
that
people.
hurts
Yeah.
people, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like it's a reward kind of like, you give, you get what you put in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely get what you put in, you know?
Mhm.
And I feel like more people should put in, you know?
Mhm.
Um people
And
ask
but
me,
the put in,
mhm.
I say put in without expecting.
Yeah,
Cause
that's
like
that's
I
what I
know,
always
Right.
say. I always
yeah,
say that
put in without
because
expecting.
you run into the people always all the time who say, I'm gonna do this because God gonna bless me. Why would you do it because God is gonna bless you? Just do it so
Bless
you can
you,
be a
right?
blessing to somebody else. It shouldn't be about
Exactly.
getting or gaining anything.
Anything. Right.
Mhm.
That's why I get on this podcast. I make $0 doing this podcast. I make $0 doing readings. Everything I do on YouTube, I do not make money for it, but I do it because I want to be a blessing to the people. There are people who watch my channel who cannot afford readings, who cannot afford
Mhm.
being taught. You know what I'm saying? So I do this for
Mhm.
them, you know?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I want them to know that they have a place to go when they're trying to receive good information. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like, and I do have to say again hello to everyone who's coming in, cuz they're like people coming in and going out, coming in and going out. Um
You guys.
so yeah.
Hello.
So I do that. But I mean, to each is its own, you know, cuz some people feel like they can't be healthy without the doctor. you know.
Right.
Like
Yeah, I
my
know a couple
doctor,
people like that.
my doctor is very, very, very neutral, you know.
Mhm.
So like she's into hostilic healing. Like there are even doctors that I know who still do house calls, you
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
And there are some who only do house calls, you know.
Right.
So that's why I say you really have to find you a good doctor. If you want a
Yeah.
doctor, but you have to find like a hostilic doctor, you know.
Mhm.
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 If it's not something
Yeah.
that you want to do yourself. Now, if it's something that you want to do yourself without the doctor, then just go ahead and do it, because you got to understand something too. Our ancestors were doing this.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. We
Like
didn't
it was
have
being done before us.
doctors
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't
or
have we did
advanced
our
doctors.
ancestors did not have doctors or big facilities that they could go to. They were actually using herbal healing, you know.
Mhm. Going right out there in the yard. Going to grab me them herbs, baby.
Right.
Like like we've been moving the whole house around, and when they were moving my stuff around, they were like, "Wow, this is healing oil and it's from 2019." And I was like, "Yeah, and only good people can get that." Because
Truly.
with my oils, I always make a master bottle, and then I make
Mhm.
all my
Mhm.
other bottles, you know.
Mhm.
So what's
Mhm.
on the shelf, that's why I be like, y'all better get it, because
Right. Right.
you know. But I keep a set of all the oils I make in a master bottle. And like I told y'all, I have stuff from 2016, 2013. Like I have stuff that's
Mhm.
old. Like I opened the oil from
Mhm.
uh from 2013, and it smells like it was just made.
Mhm.
Really?
Mhm.
Yep, the herbs look beautiful. It doesn't stink or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's the thing. You have to know how to keep your oils fresh. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You have to know how to use them and store them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And what to put in them. Because a lot of
Mhm.
people, they just go and start throwing stuff together, and then they're like, "Well, why does it look like that?" There are things that you're supposed to have in that oil to stop it from going rancid.
Right. Right.
Mm.
Right.
You know, there are certain bottles that you're supposed to use. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So for me, I just, I have a lot of my family's old grimoires, and I even have some of Marie's grimoires,
Mhm.
and
Mhm. Mhm.
I use them when I'm making things. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes people will be like, "Oh, what you put in there?" I ain't gonna tell you.
Right.
it's it's a family, and I'll make a joke. I'll be like,
It's
it's
like
a
a recipe,
family
like a
it's a
family
family recipe, and they'll be like, "You mean
recipe.
recipe?" And I'll be like, "It's a recipe," because when I was a kid, I couldn't say recipe, so I would say recipe.
Ah.
um yeah, like I had to take speech classes.
Mhm. Mhm.
I could not speak English for nothing.
Really?
I could not speak English for nothing. I literally had to take speech classes. And people be like, "What? It sound like you." No. I could not speak English for nothing. Like, Portuguese, Creole, you know, Spanish, I can speak that. But I could not speak English for nothing. Um so yeah, like that's why I be like, my family, yeah, they really be on the other side. I can speak Chinese, but
Oh,
yeah,
no.
English, I couldn't. I could not. And that shocked everybody. Like, you were lying. No, I'm not lying. I literally had to take speech class. I had to go to a private school to take those classes too, because that's not something that was offered back in the 80s.
Right, right, right.
You had like my mom who raised me had to pay 20K a month.
Gee,
Yep, they paid 20K a month where I went. That's why I learned how to tap dance and do ballet and everything. Like when I was young, I looked like a little Cubano, you know, or should I say Cubana? But yeah, like my family, my family has so much in them. You know what I'm saying? I think I talk about that every time we get on here. You know, but yeah, I'm trying to think of, because I was thinking of what else I could tell y'all too that y'all could do. Um, oh, another thing, stop sitting stop sitting brooms by the door, cause you know how they have this thing in these groups where they tell you to get like the little witch broom and sit it by the door. If it's gonna be a broom, it needs to be like a real small cinnamon broom. You know what I'm saying? If you want to sit something by your door, sit railroad spikes by your door so evil spirits can't come in. Um, sit rows of Jericho in water by your door. Sit coins by the front of your door. You get what I'm saying? But don't sit coins at the back door because you don't want the money to go out. You want the money to come in. You know what I'm saying? When you sit brooms by the door, it makes people leave. Yeah, that's why you don't want to sit brooms by the door. And you know what else you don't want to do? You don't want to store your broom in your kitchen. There are so many people I know who set the broom in the kitchen. The broom actually goes like in a garage or in like a closet, like a hall closet or something like that. But it doesn't go in
And
there.
then what happens with that though? With you putting the broom in the kitchen?
It causes you to be broke.
Oh.
Yep, it causes you to be broke. It causes friction in your family. You know what I'm saying? It basically like sweeps away your luck and just all kind of crazy things.
Right. Right, right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
And when you think about it,
Wow.
you sweep the floor with your broom. Why would it be in
To
the
sweep
place where
away
you eat or cook?
where you cook. Right, right,
You
right.
know,
Which makes sense.
with the broom in the kitchen, you're just cooking up a disaster. You know, how many people find out the
That makes
craziest
sense.
things while they're cooking?
Yeah.
You know, and that's not, some people would say that's a hoodoo tradition, but it's also an Asian tradition. You know, because a lot of my Asian and Filipino family, they actually keep their brooms in their garages too.
Okay.
hmm So when I be telling y'all these traditions, it comes from my Cuban side, my Haitian side, obviously my African side, my Spanish, everybody. Because I've taken the time to go and meet these people and learn the traditions of
Yeah, the different things.
yeah, of our people that help, you know.
Hmm.
That's why I say, yep. What else? Without giving away too much, it's not gonna be too long to explain. I'm gonna tell you a is like really, really lengthy. So, okay, so here's one. So earlier when I did the reading, it's a spirit baby reading I did. And when I did that spirit baby reading, in the reading, the card came out about Vesta powder. Now, the thing about Vesta powder is if you have small children, if you have people in your home who are sick, you want them out of the house when you light up the Vesta powder, because the Vesta powder is going to smoke. Now, some people who get Vesta powder, they're like, "Oh, a teaspoon is not enough." She said use a teaspoon. If you use more than a teaspoon, I'm telling you now, you on your own. Okay? Because it's going to take you hours to cleanse it out of your house. Now, I did it on purpose. Now, Vesta powder comes in a bag. Um, Sometimes it comes in a bag that's about this size. But when I sell it in something like about that size. And the reason why I sell it in about something that size is because if you give people a lot of it, they'll use too much of it. And Vesta powder is very expensive when it's authentic Vesta powder. That's another thing, is the authenticity of it, because you can order it from anywhere, but is it going to be really even Vesta powder, and what effects could it have on you if it's not really the right powder, right? So
Right.
I was being I told you guys I don't talk to my dad because he's a boat core. So when he left, I lit the whole thing I had, and it was like that big. We couldn't see in the house. We couldn't see each other.
Wow.
Okay? We couldn't see each other. And we was laughing, but we was choking at the same time, you know? So we had to have the doors open, the windows open. The neighbors thought our house was on fire. Some people thought we smoked out the house and was like blowing extra bad. And it took over 9 hours for that smoke to clear.
Oh my God.
Yes. So like when my husband came home, it was still smoky, and he was like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I lit some Vesta powder." And he was like, "Why did you light so much?" And I was like, "Cause my dad is gone." You know? So don't do that. Don't do that. Cause I'm telling you, like, if you take a whole thing of baby powder, like take the top off of it and just sling it all over the room, that's what it's gonna look like. But it's gonna baby powder is gonna clear up. You see what I'm saying? Vesta powder? Oh no. It's like walking through a cloud.
Really?
Yeah, it's like walking through a cloud. You can't see nothing. But what it does, like, so before you move into a home, or if you like really want to deep cleanse your home, what you're gonna do is first you're gonna mop your floor from the front of your house to the back of your house. Okay? Now, if you want to, you can use St. Michael water. I do have that available on my site. You can use hex breaking water. You can use road opener water, any type of spiritual water. You can even mix them together in the same thing. I'm always going to tell you, if you order my products, don't mix my products with anything else. Don't mix my products with anything that you got from another botanica, because I can no longer guarantee you how it's going to work, right?
I got a bone to pick with you. Ever since you said that word, I've been seeing them everywhere out here. I'm like, no, she did not speak they shops up, because I see them on. It's like on every corner. I'm like, what is going on?
That's Papa testing you too. Like, oh, you gonna go to this botanica? It's right there. You gonna follow her instruction? Because I'm so strict about that. Like, I think that's one reason why some people decide not to even work with me, because I'm so strict about going to other botanicas. Because other botanicas, you have to think about it. they're open to the public, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I watch people go, because my aunt has a botanica. I watch people go in there and touch stuff every single day who don't intend to buy nothing. So imagine you're in a really tough situation and all these people are coming in here and they're touching stuff that you need to take it home. So this is why it's also important to cleanse the things you need before you take it away. But if you're like my godchild or you're my client, I'm gonna tell you straight up, don't you go buy nothing else. Tell me what you need and I'll send it to you. You know? Cause like a lot of people too, like they'll run out of smudges and stuff like that. You're never supposed to run out of like cleansing. But when you mix these things into your mop water, you always want to put like a cap full of bleach and then like a half a cap of ammonia. And you want to you obviously want to fill the water up with the hottest of the hottest water. Okay? I'm going to say add a little soap like Gain Oxy. Add that to your water and cuz Oxy cleanses, right? And mop your house from the front to the back. Now whenever you do this mop, you're going to have to, and you should do this on a new moon by the way, but you're going to want to throw the water to the east. So you want to go to the front door and you want to throw the water to the east before the sun rises. All right? The reason why you do that and you don't throw it away at night is because when you throw it to the east before sunrise, it kills off the elements. That's basically like the final part of the ritual basically. You get what I'm saying? That's how the ritual goes. When I did that particular ritual for the first time, I made a lot of money that month. I had made more money than I had ever made in my businesses when I did that for the first time. So that's why I'm telling y'all, because this is how you can get a raise. You can get unexpected money to come in because your house has been cleansed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to clean your house with cleaning products, but it's another thing to spiritually cleanse, just like your body. It's one thing to go take a shower or a bath, but it's another thing to take a spiritual bath or a spiritual shower. And that's what was so important to me when I decided to put my spiritual products out, because I wanted people to be able to have a spiritual shower wash. Some people showers don't have a tub, you know? Or some people have shitty landlords who don't, who have never changed the tub out, and the tub is unsanitary for them to sit in, they feel like. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That's why I'm like, we not gonna do that. We gonna do it this way.
Yeah.
We gonna do it this way.
So understandable though.
I need those too.
What?
The shower washers.
Girl, you need everything.
I do. You're right.
Cause why do you do this to me? Why do you try to put your list together when we talking? I'm not even writing this down.
It's okay. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, write it down. Cause you said you also said you need the Blockbuster bath too.
Yes, I need. Yeah. Yes.
Girl, you better get it. You better get it before I go into labor.
I know, right?
She told me the same thing.
I know.
She told me the same thing today.
I'm telling you, like they still gonna do orders. Like my family is still gonna do the orders, and like my elders are gonna be helping me. And my husband, he's a priest too, so he's gonna be helping me with the rituals. But what I was saying was readings take up a lot of my, my day. Yeah, so like because I do have to make products. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm not doing readings for the collective, I'm either in the apothecary or working on my clothing line. You see what I'm saying? So, or dealing with classes for people who are trying to become entrepreneurs like me. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why I'm like, yeah, like it's a lot going on in the background, you know?
Right.
So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna put together a video um when I drop this mixtape. um I'm gonna I'm gonna put a video together about what my life is like on a day-to-day basis. So in the video, you'll see a shot of me doing readings. You'll see a shot of me, you know, working on my websites. You'll see a shot of me cooking, being a mom, you know what I'm saying? Making products, you know. And it's like, wow, she does that every day, because I believe that we all have the same 24 hours in the day. And it's the you use the 24 how you feel that you should. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what how anyone feels. I want to be profitable off my businesses. I feel like there are people out there who need me, my services, my products, and those people will gravitate to me. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I encourage everyone to do the same thing, because if you don't, did I give you your pen back? Don't look at me like that.
Yes.
Oh, and you mugged me. I ought to take your pen. First of all, it's my company.
I'll take another one.
I'm gonna say you stealing.
No.
Yes. Yes. People say don't be your kids' friends, but I love my kids.
I know that's right. I love my baby.
Okay? Like I love my kids. But what'd you say, shea butter?
No, it's not shea
Oh. Can you use my tablet? It's not a tablet, it's an iPad. Don't have people thinking we're using dinosaur devices.
Hey.
Yeah, go get it.
But it's still a tablet.
It's not a tablet, it's an iPad. It is an Apple product. Apple doesn't make tablets. They make iPads. They make MacBooks.
An iPad is a tablet.
It is an iPad.
It's an iTablet.
It's a iPad.
Okay.
Put it in the comments. An iPad is an iPad. A tablet is a tablet. No cap. You cap.
You cap.
You know, no cap. Where is Capricorn exactly located in your chart? Because you are capping right now.
I see how it is.
Yeah. You cap. You capital cap. You all caps. You hit the cap locks button.
Remember that.
No. Remember it. Take a picture of it. I can't say the rest. But, yeah. Because then they're going to say I'm stealing smoky shit. I'm just saying. Nino, what is... If Timu do not leave me alone, I promise you, Timu and Sheen check on me more than anybody.
I know.
Hey, what about me? Hello?
Okay, first of all, y'all do check on me. That is not what I meant. I was talking about phone notifications. I was not talking about y'all. Okay. Get out of grown folks conversation.
I'm halfway done.
Don't nobody care because you halfway grown. You got 2.5 years. You got 2 years and some months. Chill out.
Hey girl, hey girl.
Girl, they in these devices. They ain't paying no attention to you. They stopped talking to me. She talking about, huh? See, they both talking about, huh. But no, y'all, like, I'm trying to think what else. We covered, oh, spiritual bathing, right? If you use the wash or the shower wash, or you use the bath, you don't want to do it once. Now, if you want to say, okay, look, this is my new moon ritual or this is my full moon ritual, then you can do it on those days. But if you are like if me and you are doing spell work, you're working with me, and we're trying to combat something, I'm gonna tell you based off of your divination session with me how long you should take that bath for, because some of you might need to take the bath for 7 days. Some of you may need to take it 3 days. Some of you may have to take it for 14, 13, 21 days. Okay. Um, I've even seen severe cases where people have had to take them for like 3 months.
Really?
Yeah. And that's why I'm so happy to introduce to you guys too about our upcoming discussions, because episode 10 is going to be breaking generational curses. Episode 11 is going to be time loops and insomnia. So if you've been having trouble sleeping and wondering why you can't sleep, or having lost gaps of time, going to sleep at a certain time, waking up hours later, can't sleep, I'm going to explain that. Episode 12 is understanding your gifts. Episode 13 is the powers of the bayou. Episode 14 is the origins of hoodoo. Episode 15 is spiritual initiation. We did touch a little bit on that subject when we were talking about spiritual communities. Episode 16 is Papa Legba, the man behind the myth. I think Papa Legba made me do that by accident.
Yeah.
Like that was not accident. That was on purpose. Because I've always said I hate when old girl calls him Papa Leg Boo Boo, because she got mad because she didn't have no soul.
Oh yeah.
Episode episode 17 is chosen ones are linking, and it has the enemy worried. Episode 18 is going to be about offerings and altars. Um, Episode 19 is going to be about channeling spirits knowingly and unknowingly. And then episode 20 is unlocking your magic and the power within. All right. So that is going to be the next 11 episodes. Keep in mind, I have like 30, 40 more. And when the divine gives me the titles, I just write them down, you know. So I'm definitely not quitting the podcast, but 11 weeks. I've already in my last doctor's appointment. I've already went over my due date, and I already went over my birth plan. But with the pressure that I feel, um, I don't think I'm gonna make it till then. It could be before. So if it's before, I'll just like get on YouTube and be like, hey, we're not gonna do the podcast or whatever. But I do want to try to have some readings, because I do have readings that like I've done but I've never posted, and that's mainly why. So you guys will have content
Right.
while I'm, healing and everything. So yeah. But I'm telling you, it's gonna hit. It's definitely gonna hit for what's going on, you know. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? Let us know if you have any questions. Don't be shy.
I know, right?
Definitely don't be shy. Cause I'm bringing people out of their shy zone. I'm cutting the
Definitely working
cards.
on me.
Somebody
She
watching
working.
this is going through a tower moment. I think that's why some people keep coming on and like clicking off. Some of them are going through a tower moment, and then somebody's going through a situation where they're worried about justice. So yeah. My my desk should be here tomorrow. Y'all know what's crazy? I've bought 3 desks in 1 year. Yeah, that's crazy. Somebody's gonna find out they're pregnant. I got the Empress and I got the 9 of Cups.
Whoa.
Somebody's gonna find out they're pregnant in the next 9 days, 19 days, or 9 months.
9 months, if they gonna be 9 months, that's gonna be tragic.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
that's gonna be
I did
loud.
the cards again and I got the Empress.
That's gonna be
That's
loud.
the pregnancy to me.
Yeah.
Look, it happens. It happened to my brother, baby mama.
So you guys remember when we were doing the live and I was like, somebody on this live is pregnant? While one of my most favorite people messaged me and was like, girl, it's me.
Oh,
I was like, crazy work.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, somebody finna find out they pregnant. I got the Page of Cups with the fish in the cup.
Oh snap.
Yeah.
That fish when that represent Pisces.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
the one. That's the one.
You know, you know, the cups represent water signs. Swords represent air signs. Wands represent fire signs, and then pentacles represent earth signs.
Okay.
So when I be like, yeah, this is the all sign reading, that be because all the cards be showing, that it's that way. Somebody's leaving a situation. Somebody watching this is highly spiritual and dealing with a spiritual situation. Somebody's at spiritual warfare, it looks like, and wondering if the divine is going to help them in the situation. I gotta turn my light back on so y'all can see. Like, I get on people's nerves just sitting here flipping these cards all day. Can you hold this for me real quick? Hey, can you hold this for me real quick? Alright. So, this is the cards that I have that I was just showing y'all. Ouch. So, somebody's going...
That mic is so cute.
Yeah, somebody's going through a spiritual situation. Thank you, girl. Somebody watching this is in Tennessee. Somebody's in Alabama. I hear Louisiana, Nevada, Utah, Ohio, Alaska, Portugal. Somebody's in China. I'm listening. Somebody's at the bottom of the map. Somebody's in England, but somebody's at the bottom, like close to Antarctica type bottom.
Oh shit.
Hmm. Somebody's in Beijing. Somebody's in Beijing. Somebody's in Malaysia. Oh, not the pin falling and landed on Nebraska. Yep. Cause I be keeping that's why I was telling her I wanted to keep the map. Um thank you. Not to be like boots, but because when we be talking about certain instances, spiritually, like how like the last time we were talking about the South and what areas are actually considered the South, you know, people be asking me to do like locations because some people be having family that's missing or family that they haven't, you know, had contact with in a while and want to know, you know, they want to know how they are and stuff like that. So yeah.
It's crazy you say that because I was thinking a few days ago. I seen a post about somebody missing, and I'm like, I wonder where you do all that.
Go give me that pendulum and I'll tell you where they at. Go give me that pendulum. Ask Tootie where it is. Cause they've been moving my stuff. It might be in the room on that blue thing. Oh, he heard me. Boy, divine timing work. Cause Tootie just walked past the room when I was saying that, and he pointed her right in the right direction. I got the map of the states right here, and I got the map of the countries on the side of me, because a lot of y'all don't know too, like the people who be coming up missing, them girls be getting trafficked.
You know what? That's what about this particular girl. I wonder, but then I'm like, because she was pregnant too.
I know it's one girl that they were looking for. They found her already. She died though. She was killed.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I don't remember if she was pregnant or not, but I heard about it earlier this morning. It was like it was like 6 o'clock this morning. They were looking for this. You know, they was reporting on finding a girl, and she had died, and they were telling what the family, you know, had to say and how the family felt, which is completely heart wrenching. You know.
Yeah. And see, this girl,
Tell him to
she
find
was
it.
pregnant and worked for the post office, and she got my name, so I was like, oh man.
Did you look on where my TV is?
Oh wow.
Cause it was up there at the
I'm like,
top.
that's so weird.
Yeah, only the key things up there.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on, I heard my name. I'm like, wait,
Yeah, tell him to go find it.
I'm right here. What y'all talking about?
Cause Kiara want me to ask, so I want to ask before I get off. But yeah, that's something I do because people do ask me that. They be like, "Do you do location spells?" Like, yeah, I do all of that.
Girl, Royal helped me find my weed one time, okay? I am lying to you, okay? I'm not lying. I could not find it. I was like, Royal, I need a location still before I use my shit. I don't lose my mind.
Hey, you can't be losing that, man.
I know, man.
Do y'all know, like, Brittany had like real bad anxiety, and like, we used to sit. Thank you. I told her you would find it, and we used to sit on the phone, and like she'll be on the phone throwing up and everything, and I'll just be praying for her and everything. Like now she don't suffer with none of that. This is after taking them teas though.
Right, but see, right, and them baths and getting rid of
I feel
So hold on, let me ask
feel
this
bad
question
because
real quick.
okay.
So the girl who's named Kiara, where is she?
That's missing. The one that's missing.
It's circling.
You know her
It's
last name?
it's pointing
Kiara
it's pointing
Cove.
to that she's in Illinois.
Yeah, yeah. That's what she was missing. She missing from here too.
So is she still in Illinois? It's going to, oh shit. I don't know if they're gonna find her alive, Kiara.
Oh,
Cause
I said that.
it's pointing to, hold on y'all. I need my light so I can look at this map. Um it's pointing to her being somewhere around Mount Vernon. There's like a lake or a body of water right there.
Mm,
So she could be somewhere by Mount Vernon, or this is somewhere along Interstate 57 between Mount Vernon and Murphy Borough. She's somewhere between those two.
you wanna know what's crazy? Because okay,
What?
so the Mount Vernon area I'm real familiar with, and all the time I take 57.
You serious?
Mm-hmm.
No, for real, I take 57 all the time. And so when the story she been missing for a few years,
Mhm.
so when I first heard the story, it shocked me. She was her not only is her name Kiara, she worked at the post office.
Mhm.
Um, she was a carrier. Just a couple of weeks ago, I started thinking of being a carrier. Um,
Mm.
and it made me think about her, and I'm like, yo. And remember, I told you about the last time a person that I had that encounter with, and you told me like, yeah, no, you're not supposed to do that.
Mhm.
That's why I asked today because I'm like, do you do that? Because I've
Yeah,
seen
if
it. She
anybody,
definitely has been around.
let me say this real quick. Hi to everybody who's coming in. If you have somebody who's missing, and you want to know where they are, that's what we're working on right now to kind of catch everybody up to speed. Um, wow, and we've been on the phone 2 hours and 44 minutes and 44 seconds when I said that. Um, so yeah, um, that's crazy.
And they suspect the boyfriend. He even went down south, I believe, too. Um, and left. Yeah, he left. So like,
So let's see. So where
Where's the
is the
boyfriend?
boyfriend? Where is he at right now? So the boyfriend is in Louisiana.
he said he went. He did. He. I know for sure that he went south.
It's hanging over Lafayette. It's stopped at Lafayette. So let me take the light again, y'all, and I'll be back. Um, so he's between Lafayette, um, New Iberia. Somebody may find him. Somebody may find him near. What city was that? Damn, what city was that? I moved the light. Morgan City. Somebody may find him between Morgan City.
Wow.
Mhm. But if he's in Louisiana and this happened in Illinois, yeah, he's definitely running from something. You know,
Yeah.
you would
He.
think that he would be a person of interest.
Yeah. And they, from what I've known and kind of read a little more up on, yeah, they still kind of like, no, we're not even talking. And most of them don't even know where he at. So they just know he's south.
Yeah, well,
But
he's in
wow,
Louisiana. He's at the bottom
that's
too
wild.
of Louisiana.
Mm.
Mm.
They need to check that water.
Oh,
They need to check that
and it,
water or that mountain, that mountainous area. They probably wouldn't even think about checking that mountainous area though. But you know what's going to be
it's
crazy? Because you
what?
said that you've been going on nature walks all of a sudden, and
Mhm.
a hiker may just find her.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm thinking, because like even sometimes, like now that I talk about her,
Mhm.
my throat closing. So
Mhm.
it's like little signs and stuff that I noticed that like she's so like I it's like I'm there. You know what I'm trying to say? And
Mhm.
it's so weird. It's weird when you think about it. And so that's why I'm like, dang, why is she on my mind? And so I'm like, I wonder if she do it. And let me ask the question, because I'm like, it's been weird. It's
Yeah,
definitely been a little weird lately.
I do pendulum readings. I do crystal ball readings, channelings
Mhm.
without
Mhm.
cards,
Hmm.
Mhm.
without pendulums. Like there's really nothing that I can't do. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
That's just that's just the ability that I have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as I've taught many of my students, continuing to work on your ability is what helps it get stronger,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
So you have to think, I've been reading, I've been doing like cartomancy. Cartomancy is when you read playing cards, and that's where I started. And I started doing that in middle school. So I'm
Mhm.
40 now, and I've been reading fire, candles, just all sorts of things,
All such things.
um,
Yeah.
since I can remember,
Hmm.
because I started doing readings for other people in the seventh grade. Because, your friends be like,
Mhm.
oh, that's
Mhm.
cool, you know,
Right. Right.
tell
Right.
me what my life going to be like. And
Mhm. Mhm.
spot on, spot on. So, yeah. So if
Well,
you
thank you for the
guys don't
information.
have any questions, I am going to get ready to turn off the live. I do appreciate you guys watching. If you have a topic that you would like us to discuss, um, let us know. If you have any questions, I see that there are people still joining. If you have any questions, definitely let us know in the chat because we are about to close out. All right. So yeah, you guys got any questions or anything to say?
Oh no,
Not
no.
right at the moment. Mm-mm.
Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna say, which I'm just basically gonna reiterate what I've already said. If you
Hmm.
don't know what you're doing when it comes to rituals of any kind, seek guidance from a professional who knows exactly what they're doing, and just don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because it can mess up you, it can mess up someone that you love, it can mess up things that you have going on. So, if you don't know what you're doing during a ritual, just leave it alone. It's okay not to know what to do or how to do it. But what's important is that you stay safe and you keep your family safe at all times. All right? So,
Right.
peace, love, and abundance. I will see you guys in the next one. Episode 10 will be our next one. All right, guys, which I will post in a few minutes. So, yep.
Mhm. Mhm.